What's up? Um, as usual, no script, no announcement. We just do something random, and I'm not really planning anything, but it's that time to tune in, and I don't know how to remove this way of thinking. I just, when you're so capable of doing anything you want to do, but it's like you're so much of a perfectionist, man. Like, you just want to perfect your craft, you just want to perfect whatever you're doing and sharing it. It's like when your own criticism, when you criticize yourself, your own work, and you're supposed to share that. It's like a different level of insecurity. I think it's insecurity. It feels like insecurity because you alone, you feel like, man, it's not good enough. So, and in a weird way, some of us don't even care about the how the audience receives this value. We don't really care, but we care that we don't like it enough. It's not good enough for us to share it. Like, we care that much. We give it so much care, and I feel like that mentality is pulling us back. This is not just about art, but I'm referencing it to art because I personally have, that experience of creating something, having put all those hours, all that effort, and then it's like I'm not feeling it, you know? I'm really not feeling like I like it, but it's not the way it should be. And I think it's an ego thing too, cause I just want it to be a certain way. So it's not just about art, man. This mentality goes far into the other aspects of your life. You start raising standards so high that they're so unrealistic. They're so unrealistic, man. And you disguise it as, self-respect, self-love, but your standards are just too high. They're not realistic. You know what I mean? You understand me, man? So I just I wanted to share this on a level of understanding. And man, when you try and structure everything out, when you try and figure everything out in a masterful way, um, you take out the joy of it. You take out the life of it. You just destroy it, man. And it's like being a kid again. Man, I see these kids with phones nowadays, and honestly, their childhood is not as it's not half as fun as, you know, the childhood that some of us, the early 20s us had when we was kids. When we had toys, man, that gave us so much space in our mind to use imagination. We didn't have to figure everything out. Now the kid is like 6 and he's on a YouTube video. There's a story about, there's some dude who made a story about a public figure. I don't know, Ronaldo getting murdered by his chef, and this kid is so seriously, ingrained in that whole AI body segment, and it's not me criticizing, the content of anyone. I'm just saying that we need to go back to that way of thinking that we once had and drop this perfectionist persona, because it's really killing us, man. It's really killing us. And so what? It's not perfect. You understand me? So what? Just put it out. It doesn't have to be perfect anymore, you know? And I feel bad, man. I feel bad that I've had to carry this mental for so many years until now that, you end up introspecting, you end up discovering those more things about yourself, like on a conscious, on an aware level, and you're like, yo, I never knew this about me. But I can think about countless times when, you know, I had this advantage or that advantage. I'm not saying I wasted potential or stupid thing like that. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's countless times when I had a certain advantage in a situation, and as much as I recognized it, I was so keen on playing to the rules. I was so keen on getting it, getting the outcome my way and not using that advantage. That was my perfectionist mindset, and it really destroyed a lot of good stuff that I didn't get to see, that I didn't realize how, you know, how great the stuff is. And I know I'm speaking in vague, but I'll tell you a simple story. It was back in high school when I was having a following on social media, and I was like a musician. Of course, you can tell I'm a great musician, man, by my jeans and the good look. I can make a good musician, but the point is, it was back, I think, ninth grade, and I had around 2,000 followers, and I had just released, the first single. It was more freestyle, and man, I had this pressure on me. I had this constant, repetitive image of what I'm supposed to put out there, what I'm supposed to represent, and at first that was okay, but then it eventually just took away a lot of the peace of my mind, you know, and I ended up just dropping the whole image, cause that's what I'll call it. It was an image, you know, and in that process, it's like I gained my peace of mind in dropping that image. I literally deleted social medias. I deleted them songs. I just wanted the peace of mind, and maybe y'all won't relate, but it it was that sense of I wanna have it my way. I wanna perfect this the logistics of how this happens in my way. That's how I saw it, and even the romance side of things with the ladies, I realized that the very same approach was limiting me. It was limiting a lot of great experiences because I will filter out everything else and just stick to this. It should be this way, and the high standards, and it limited the experience. It limited the amount of options, and it was too volatile in terms of just how relevant the experience will become. And like I said, man, like you will be having this bad habit that you keep going, you keep spreading it out. It's like a rotten potato that just ruins every single plant around the garden. And this thing just ruined a lot of things, man. It ruined a lot of things. Not that, oh, I'm a junkie, life is destroyed. No, I'm just saying that it was a side effect. It caused a lot of side effects that drastically put me in endless setbacks, man. I ain't even kidding, man. I took L's. I took L's, but we bounce back, whatever. But it's really important for you to not want to view things in an aggregate form, and you should just granulate. You should be taking the most of everything and not just sticking to this side or this tactic. Because here's the thing, man, like it's never about certainty, and that's one of the things that perfectionism ruins us with, sells us to. We think just because something is going to be perfect that it's going to be guaranteed. That's the thing, man. It's supposed to be uncertain. Everything's supposed to be uncertain. It's supposed to be much less mathematical, much less logical, in a way that the randomness inspires you to just keep on going. And maybe it might be just 4 weeks of finally getting pieces of the puzzle together. 4 weeks out of so much time that I was asleep, that I was blind, that I was shut out, completely blocked from the real thing. And I was telling myself all these different stories. Hey man, this ain't counseling. This ain't me airing out no daily lonely. I'm just talking about how mindset works. I'm not a motivational person. I'm not a coach. I'm sorry, mindset. This just me sharing perspective with y'all. And we should stop calculating too much, because there's so many variables in this experience of living. There's so many variables, but how long are you gonna keep calculating? Calculation is just like 1% of, even less than 1% of the whole experience. That's what strategy is, man. But the rest of the thing, it's about intuition. It's about having faith. Having faith in God, man. Having faith that you will keep showing up. Alright? So, like I said, man, it's not about regretting the past. Fuck no, man. I don't know if I would have had the chance to, you know, gain these adventures, these great experiences I've recently had. You know, if it wasn't for those setbacks, if it wasn't for that wrong perspective, I'm just saying, man, there's no light without dark, right? So yeah, man, let's drop the perfectionist persona. Let's drop the whole idea that if I do one, two, three, it's gonna happen like this. Therefore, I'm in control. We don't have to be in control. You understand me, man? We really don't have to be in control. We have to be present. Big difference. We have to be present, brother, sister. Um, that's a long talk. I like my videos less than 15 minutes, so I guess I'll catch y'all next time we do this. I enjoyed it. I hope y'all did too. Um, yeah, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, whatever. Stay blessed.